Okay, so we're going to take the clutch off of this thing because there's a short in it somewhere. So what we will do is then run a resistance check on the clutch itself and put 12 volts to it, see if it pops or not. What's occurring is every time I engage the PTO switch, the 7.5 amp fuse trips. So there's a short. What you need first of all, 10mm, a 10mm spanner stroke socket, just to unscrew this head. Stops all the dirt and soot and everything else going into the actual engine itself. Good thing, the old magnet tray, so you can just drop all your bits in. So it's a T20. And two together. Right, there's your bolt there that you need. 17mm socket. I use my breaker bar. Rotate it round so that you can put that against the framework, and then we'll take you below so that we can start unscrewing the clutch. Okay, with the breaker bar in place, what we need is a 16mm socket. And before you drop it all the way, this is the clutch cable. This comes from the clutch. This gives a 12 volt feed to the clutch, which engages the electromagnetic field, which engages and disengages the clutch. There's like a grommet there that holds this here, but what we want to do is basically separate this before we drop the clutch. You know, once we drop it, it doesn't put tension on there and starts giving you more issues. Swing that round a bit. There we go. So what we want to do is take this belt tension off before we actually drop this. Remove this. This is the pulley that I'm zooming into next. So using a 14mm socket, you need to remove this to allow you to be able to get the belt off. Take that off, disengage this, drop both parts into your magnetic tray. So what we want to do now is release the tension on the belt. Let's go with my breaker bar. So I'm going to make some space first. So drop that through, put a bit of tension there. There we go. And then we can put a bit of pressure on there like that, which will hopefully give us a bit of slack. Now we've got the slack, we can remove it from the clutch. Just go back there. There we go. There's your clutch aid. We've got slack on there, so we can remove that. Now what we need to do is remove the rest of that. And hopefully it just slides off, and you can take you can check your key still, which is on the back. So just make sure that's in place and it hasn't actually sheared and snapped, because that can be another thing why your PTO has stopped engaging. But we're intact there. We know this is a short, so anyway, let's carry on. So we know we're not going to be using this mower in the time at the moment, so it's always a good idea. Just put this back in place and cinch it up, and that will keep that key still in place. And And you also know where you're going to find your bolt. Come to put your new clutch on and then you've lost this part. So let's do a resistance check on this clutch and see what we can find on there. So before we go any further, this is the clutch that comes off of a Husqvarna Z560x. That's the part number. So it appears to be rotating quite freely and no movement, so it's not a bearing. So we'll just turn it over, check to see if it's frayed, cut or melted anywhere that's actually creating the short within the wires. So let's try a resistance test now and see what we get with that. So what you do is you put it onto ohms, set it down to 200 and just plug into one of these and then just touch the other one and it should be between 0.2 to 4 and we're way over that, so there's too much resistance in this. So what that means is we've got a short in the magnetic windings of the clutch, and that means it's a new clutch. So this is the one that I ordered. I'm not affiliated with this. I paid for it with my own money. So once this comes in, I'll do another video, a part 3 of me fitting it and hopefully having a running mower that will cut grass and not short out. Cheers, thanks for watching everyone.